Welcome to Redstone class. Today is the final project for Unit 0. In a project video, we'll use everything we've learned in the unit and we'll build the project together. No homework, just follow along and build your design of what I build. So for this project, I'm going to build a trap without using redstone. We're going to use all of the things we've learned. We've learned about water, we've learned about falling blocks, we learned about doors. We're going to use incorporate all of them into the design. So what we're going to do for this trap is we are going to use a mechanic we learned about in the section on water. So if you remember, water can be updated by having a block updated next to it. So if I were to, let's say I had a pressure plate right here, and I had some water that was right here. What happens when I walk over this pressure plate? The water actually moves. And so we can cause the water to move around with a signal from the pressure plate. And we haven't covered pressure plates in Unit 0. We'll get to those in Unit 1, but you'll use them commonly around doors, and it's going to be the easiest way to set off the water. There's not very simple ways to do this without using a pressure plate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by setting up some water to behave differently if this pressure plate is stepped on. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to set it up like that. So we don't have any of our friends like this cow interrupt us, I'm going to cover this back up. So what I want to do for this build is I'm going to make a trap of sand that falls. In our section on falling blocks, we learned that we will be able to make sand fall by having the block underneath it removed. Well, fun fact, torches are removed by water. It will knock them off, and so we can chain those together. So let me actually dig this out a little bit faster. What we're going to do is we're going to go fill from -2, where I'm at, -2 to 2, and let's go down about, let's go down like 10 blocks. Let's go down a long ways. And then we'll go to 2. So what that should do is it should clean out this whole section underneath me. And I want to move this over because I want to stand here and do the same thing in the same spot. All right, so now we've got a place to fall into. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by having a torch that is precariously placed. And so what I want to do is I want to have this torch knocked down by some water. Let's say we were to do it, we want the water to come out around here. So let's say we wanted to put it right here. And what we'll do is we'll have the water come out in this location right here, and it will pour out, and it will cause this block to fall. Well, then we can just chain them like so. And so by chaining these sand blocks, now you can see we are starting to have an effect. So I'm going to place these here. And what we want to do is we want to reach the furthest side of the region with these sand blocks. And the furthest side is, or the furthest block is these corners. So we've got to come here. And you can see we're running out of height now, which is okay. We are going to make it just in time. And now we've got sand that will fall. And what we could do is we could just build sand up on this. And so what I could do, let's say we wanted our floor right here, because we do. We can put these blocks here. So that's the beginning. And what we'll do is we'll put 2 blocks here. And I'll put a block here. Put 2 blocks here, and a block here. I'm going to put a torch on top of these. So you'll notice the pattern that once you figure out how to do it for one location, you can figure out how to do it for all the others. It doesn't matter where I put these torches, as long as I put them. We'll just do 2 blocks here. It doesn't matter where I put these torches, as long as there is the top one is the sand. And so that's going to require 2, but only 1 here and here. I can make use of those. I'm going to put a torch here. So you'll have to do 2 blocks in some places because it kind of has an even and odd pattern. I'm not an expert on this. It's something you could become good at if you played with it long enough. I'm going to put a block here. Yeah. And then I'll place these 2 here, and then they'll block off this one. And so notice that every sand block we placed has been placed so that it's precariously hanging above another block. And so the only exception to that is the one at the bottom. So we're not placing any torches on the walls here. All the torches we place, what's left? We got to do these 3 blocks and then this 2 by 2. So let's come into this 2 by 2 like so. Need to place a block here so that I can place a torch here. And your goal should be to try to do as few blocks as possible. You don't want to be in a position where you're doing a whole tower of blocks. You want your blocks to be mostly, you want it to be mostly air. You want to keep it to 2 or 3, right? All right, and so now all I've got to do is place 1, 2, and right here, we don't have anything. I don't have anything that's easy access here. So what we will do is we will try and lead off from one of these. So I'll place 1 here. That's not going to work. I have to come from even lower. I'll place 1 here and here and here. There we go. And there, now you've got a room. And so let's decorate the room real quick. So let's say I have a furnace here and a crafting table right here. And what we'll do is we will, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to spectator mode. And so what we want to do then is we want to place lava in here in our trap where things will fall. And so what I would do is I would have it so that you have it underneath and they fall through. And so you can, if you were on survival, you'd have to dig all the way down here, or you could plan it ahead. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put lava in here that everything is going to fall onto. And so what we'll do is we actually want this water to not interfere with the lava too quickly. So we'll dig down here, and so the water's going to want to go here. And so what I will do is I will get out some signs. We've got to figure out how we want to hide this lava. I think this is going to be the easiest way to do it. And so if you shift click, you can place a sign like so. I don't know. Needless to say, though, we want to have lava here, or something for a trap. We will, let's go ahead and put it down here. Sorry if you thought I was going to plan this through thoroughly. I want this to be organic. This video, we're going to show you what it's like to do these things in real life. And so what I would say is we could put we want to have the water here. You could make this deep enough so they fall from the fall damage, or you could put in lava. So the sand's going to fall in the lava 2 or 3 blocks high. And so if we really want this to work, we're going to need to number one, we have to make sure the water comes here, and it doesn't want to go anywhere else. We want to make sure it comes down this way. But other than that, other than not interfering here, we should be able to dig really deep and put lava in here. So let's say we did dig really deep. I don't want to put the lava in yet until we know what we're going to do. So I'm going to put, let's say we put lava in here, and then it came out at least this far. And see, remember the mechanics of lava. See how that fell on us? So we've got a test that it more or less works. Sometimes lava wants to, or it's because it's a source block, it wants to spread out. And so what we can do is we can go in and we can put it back in. I will skip ahead. So it's become clear that what we want to do is we want to do this. So what this will allow us to do is to keep our water and lava separate. By having the water drop through here and cause this torch to break, will cause this to fall, and this will trigger all the way up. So I'm going to go put it back. It's become clear that this is going to be an elegant way to do it. That if you come all the way across and do the corners, then you can do each row all the way across, and this will be a much cleaner way to do it. So today I learned. And so if you want to do it this way with yours, you can. Alright, so now we're done, and you can see that I've gotten it filled in here. You can't tell from up above. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to come down here, and we're going to repeat what we were trying to do before. And this time, I don't think we actually need to use signs to hold the lava at a specific height. I think we can just place the lava. So that makes it simpler. So it's going to fall, and some of this sand is going to be 2 or 3 blocks high. But we don't have to worry about that not being covered because we can just place lava all the way around now. So let's say we were to do that. And that will take care of anybody who falls into it. We probably don't even need to close that off. In fact, I'm not going to. And so what we will do now is we will go connect the water to it. So let us take note of coordinates and where we're at. We want the water to fall right here. Interesting. We had some gravel. And so if we know our coordinates, which I can turn on, we want our water to fall right here. So if we've checked our coordinates, we want to dig down from here. In fact, we could just dig down from there. That's all we would have to do. And so what we could do, carefully, because we don't want to update the water, we're going to dig down right here. So the water's going to want to go here as soon as there's a block update, as soon as that pressure plate is touched. So we dig right here, the water's going to go here, and it's going to go here, there, and it's going to go there. So that will do it. And so it's surprisingly easy. Water has a tendency to want to go where it wants to go. And so it will, when that block updates, find out that that's the fastest path. And so without updating. So now we've got our fake interior. And so any other setup you want to do to make a trap seem legitimate, so what we're going to do is we're going to test it. And so you may know we didn't use rails this section. You could also do a rail trap rather than a home trap. If you wanted to really use everything, you could make a fake rail that leads to a trap, and it hits the pressure plate and causes it to go off. So that would cover everything we've covered in this section. And so without having any redstone, now we've got a somewhat time delayed trap where somebody can come in, and we have, that was what I wanted to add, chests. And so let's say we have a double chest here, a chest here, a chest here, a chest here, a chest here. Look at all this stuff. There's so much to go through. I'm going to steal this person's stuff. And so now, if we are our unwitting selves as a victim, I won't even bother. When we come in, that should have set off the water, which is going to leak down now. And so we're looking around, and then we die. And that's it. Thanks for joining me for this project. I hope that you have success when you do yours. We can see right down here that everything deployed as we expected. We have the water that came down here and knocked off this torch, and the sand fell down through the lava, and our trap worked exactly as we expected it to. So that's it for this video, and that's it for Unit 0. So now, Unit 1 is going to be covering the basics of redstone, the foundations, and the first things you should know with redstone. So now we've done something without redstone. Hopefully, you should be a master of using redstone, understanding the principles, and not having to use actual redstone to be able to pull contraptions off. Now you know the principles that made us able to get creative with redstone. These are some of the items that were added beforehand and allowed us to do all kinds of tricks. Redstone made things easier, but there are things you can do that don't require redstone. And learning how to do those will push your redstone abilities to the limit. You'll be able to be much more of a master with it if you understand the creativity that comes with restraint. So limit yourself to a few items like this and see what you can come up with. That's it for this video, and that's it for this unit, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.